All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling a massive question. What does AI really mean for the future of IT jobs in India? The answer, it turns out, is probably not what you're thinking. And honestly, it all boils down to one single number that should be a huge wake-up call for the entire industry.
So let's start with the big question you have to ask yourself. We're all using AI, right? But the real issue is how we're using it. Is it a tool that makes you smarter, a partner that helps you do your job better, or is it quietly learning your job, getting ready to make you obsolete? For millions of tech professionals in India, that answer is starting to look a little uncomfortable. And it all starts right here with this number, 0.27. Right now, I know this means absolutely nothing to you, but stick with me because by the end of this, you'll see why this one little figure might just be one of the most alarming signals for India's whole tech sector.
So where on earth does this number even come from? Well, it's the headline finding from a new report on something called the Anthropic AI Usage Index. And this index is so important because it's not just measuring if people are using AI, it's measuring the quality of that use. And what it's telling us about India, well, it's critical.
Okay, so the AUI, it's actually a pretty clever way to look at this. It takes a country's piece of the global workforce pie and compares it to its piece of the high-end premium AI usage pie. You see, a score of 1.0 is what you'd expect. It means you're pulling your own weight. Your AI use matches your workforce size. Anything less than 1.0, well, that signals a big problem.
And boom, here's that problem in black and white. India has a massive 18% of the entire global workforce. So its baseline score, its expected score, should be 1.0, but its actual score, just 0.27. Think about that. That means India is punching at less than a third of its weight when it comes to high-level AI engagement. The real question is, why?
You see, the problem isn't just about using AI less, it's about using it in the wrong way. It really all boils down to two very different paths you can take with AI. There's automation, which is all about replacing tasks, and then there's augmentation, which is about enhancing human skills. The data is suggesting that India has overwhelmingly chosen the more dangerous of those two paths.
Okay, so let's really break this down. With automation, you're essentially just delegating a task to the AI. The AI does the work, the AI learns, and eventually the human gets replaced without gaining any new skills. But with augmentation, you use AI as a thinking partner. You use it to explore ideas. The human learns, the human evolves, and they get way better at their job. One path leads to becoming obsolete, the other leads to real expertise.
And if you need proof of which path is being taken, well, here it is. A jaw-dropping 51% of India's high-end AI use is focused squarely on coding and software development. That is way, way higher than the global average. Now, why is that so dangerous? Because routine coding is one of the most structured, most predictable tasks out there, which makes it one of the easiest for an AI to learn and eventually automate completely.
You know, this focus on automating simple tasks isn't just a risk for one person's career. It's actually creating a massive skills gap between India and other leading tech countries who are taking the exact opposite approach. Let's just look at the numbers. This is where that 0.27 number really hits home. Just look at this comparison. India's at 0.27, the USA 3.62, and Singapore is at a mind-boggling 4.57. I mean, they're not just a little bit ahead. They are playing an entirely different sport, using AI at a rate that's many times more intense than what you'd expect from their workforce size.
And the reason is simple. They're all in on augmentation. Their professionals are using AI to run complex business simulations, to explore tricky problems, to deepen their own understanding. They're not creating replaceable workers. They're actively building a workforce of super-powered, amplified thinkers.
And I want to be clear. This isn't some abstract, theoretical problem that might happen someday. No. This strategic difference is having real consequences, right now. The economic reality of an automation-first approach is already here, and it's starting to bite hard, hitting the most vulnerable jobs first.
Just think about this for a second. Globally, 77% of AI use in big companies isn't just helping out with a task. It's not just chipping away at the edges. It's replacing the full task. It's swallowing the whole thing. That means entire job functions are just being absorbed by algorithms, and that trend is only getting faster.
So which jobs are on the chopping block? It's the task-based roles. Things like routine coding, basic software testing, writing documentation. Basically, anything with a clear input and a predictable output is at very high risk. The jobs that are safe? Well, they're the ones that require context, strategy, and the messy human ability to deal with ambiguity, all things AI is terrible at. And that right there is a direct hit on the entry-level and junior IT roles that so many careers are built on.
Okay, so that's the warning, and yeah, it's a pretty stark picture. But this is not destiny, it's a trend, and trends can be reversed, both for the whole industry and, much more importantly, for your own career. So, how do you fix this? What's the path forward?
Here is the game plan. It's 4 basic steps. First, you have to stop just delegating tasks and start analyzing. Use AI to stress test your own ideas. Second, you've got to build something called tacit knowledge. And we're going to talk more about that in a sec because it's crucial. Third, you have to run towards complexity, not away from it. And finally, use AI to experiment, to question, to gain new perspective, not just to get a quick answer. Let's really dig into that second point, because this is your secret weapon, tacit knowledge. It's basically the vibe of a company. It's all the unwritten rules, the office politics, knowing who you really need to talk to get something done. It's pure human context. You know, an AI can't listen in on hallway chatter or read the mood in a Zoom meeting to learn that stuff. You can. So at the end of the day, this is the shift you have to make in your career. You have to stop being just an executor, someone who checks off a list of tasks. You need to become a synthesizer, someone who can pull together information, context, and all that tacit knowledge to make genuinely smart decisions. That is a role AI simply cannot automate. And that kind of brings us full circle, right back to where we started. A quote from the report that inspired this says it perfectly. That score of 0.27 is not destiny. It's a flashing red light on the dashboard. It's a warning that it's time to change course and change it now.
The path forward is actually crystal clear. The future of high-value, high-paying work belongs to the people who learn to partner with AI, to augment their own abilities. The choice is yours. It's for every single professional and every company to make. So the question is no longer if you'll use AI, it's how. Will you use it to think, or will you use it to disappear? The choice is yours.